Good morning. Welcome or welcome back to Bookeemonsters. My name is PK. It is Monday again. It is Monday, July the 13th. We're here to look at new releases published this week in mysteries, both cozy and the darker side. Today we look at cozies. Hope you had a good weekend. Hope you stayed cool and safe. Read good books. Elena says, good morning. Well, good morning, Good morning, Elena. How you doing? She says, happy Monday. Yes, just finished A Court of Silver Flames by Sarah J. Maas. Yay, congratulations. Woo, good job. And now I'm reading A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. Moving on to the next one. That is the second series of this book. And I'm going to make my refresher. Okay. Amy says, good morning, PK and Elena. Good morning. It will be in the 90s today in Oklahoma City. Yuck. We hit 111 yesterday. Today I think it is going to be 100, and then we're back in the 90s. It is summer. Elena says, hey, Amy. And 2 more weeks till your birthday. It's getting close. She says, I'm excited. Yes. Amy says, hey, yay, Elena. And Amy says, sorry, it autocorrected. That's okay. All right, so quick announcements. I don't have any sprints tonight. Our next sprints are tomorrow night, Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. We do every Tuesday and Thursday evening and Saturday afternoons. Let's start looking at the cozies. Lucy Burdett has a new one. A Delicious Deception. 16th in the Key West Food Critic series. When Sheriff's Deputy Darcy Rogers asks Haley for a small favor, she can't say no. 9 months pregnant and temporarily benched from her food critic duties, Haley's itching for a distraction and eager to help. All she has to do is tag along while a young woman picks up her daughter from her father at Monroe County's safe custody exchange location. Easy, right? Wrong. In the chaos of the sheriff's office open house, the mother disappears. Then the father bolts, leaving Haley with a terrified girl and the realization that something has gone terribly wrong. Haley and Deputy Rogers head north up the Keys to search for answers. When a body turns up, Haley realizes this isn't just a missing persons case, it's a race against time. With the little girl's safety at risk, Haley must trust her instincts and her heart to uncover the truth. He says, good morning, PK, Amy, and Elena. Good morning. Happy Monday. Well, the start of a new week. July is speeding up. Gray here and overcast, but no rain despite what they promised. Still enjoying the Todd book. Well, stay cool. Hope it rains a little bit, at least, maybe later. Mary says, 111, gosh. Please be careful in that kind of heat. You, Stephen Keogh, stay cool. Indeed. Thank you. I am not a summer girl. A Guide to Weathering a Storm by Courtney McFarlane, 4th in A Finn and Briar Cozy Mysteries. Winter has arrived in Collinsville, Colorado, and Tessa Windsor is prepared as any hiking guide can be. She's led dozens of groups through these mountains. She knows the trails, the terrain, and the weather. What she doesn't count on is a freak storm rolling in fast, trapping her group of 5 teenagers and their teacher deep in the backcountry, miles from help. With her only mode of communication gone, her group sheltering in a cave, and one student down with a serious injury, Tessa has to draw on every skill she has to keep everyone alive. And when someone makes a chilling discovery in the woods nearby, stakes get even higher, because surviving the storm might be the least of her problems. Yeah, when it's this hot, I just tell myself, this was the weather you wanted when it was negative blah degrees, you know? We're never happy. The Cherkley Court Conundrum by Benedict Brown, 7th in the Marius Quinn Mysteries. When an old flame from Marius Quinn's past turns up at his door with knowledge of a shocking crime, he is drawn into a new case. A devoted maid has been brutally attacked, a valuable jewelry box stolen, and the head gardener has fled from the grand estate where they work. With his sleuthing partner, Lady Bella, alongside him, Marius descends on Cherkley Court, the home of the domineering business magnate Lord Sheridan. But conflicting accounts from the man, his glamorous wife, a trio of young artists, and the troubled staff only lead to more questions. Although plenty of evidence points to the missing gardener, Marius isn't convinced, and his hunch is proved right when the killer strikes again. Faced with a conspiracy that reaches into the heart of the household itself, can Marius and Bella unravel a devious plot, or will the killer get away with murder twice over? Pairing Waters by Jenna St. James and Stephanie D'Amour. 15th in the Enchanted Waters Mysteries. Tourist season in the Bermuda Triangle is winding down and the holiday rush is about to start, but before Kira is buried under flour and frosting, Isla insists on one thing: a girl's getaway. Their destination? A visit to see Kira's daughter Maddie, who's been attending a prestigious supernatural culinary school. With her final exam and magical pairings just days away, the timing couldn't be better to cheer Maddie on, until the night of the final and the culinary instructor turns up dead. With the campus lockdown and tensions rising among a group of magically gifted and competitive students and instructors, Isla and most of the PADA crew are already on site and ready to investigate. Can Isla and the girls uncover the truth before the killer strikes again, or will this girl's getaway end in a recipe for disaster? End of that row. Elena says, "What's up, Mary?" And 90 degrees in Tarzana. Whew! Yeah, you guys kind of get hot all the time. Pretty much it's much warmer than I would expect. Yeah. Mary says, "Hi, Elena. Been reading Charles Todd's new book, which I'm enjoying. Leisurely, atmospheric, and a much-needed gentle book, but still a good mystery as the clues mount up." And Elena says, "Enjoy your books." Yes. Don't Look: A Cold Case in the Cadaver by Kelly Hashway. 25th in the Piper Ashwell Psychic PI series. For Psychic PI, Piper Ashwell having to teach a class of criminal justice students about assessing crime scenes is stressful enough. What makes it much worse is reading the cadaver in the class and discovering the deceased was murdered. The coroner's report states the death was a heart attack, but Piper knows better. The problem is figuring out how to prove something that was never even suspected in the first place. Time has erased all evidence of the poison that killed the victim, and Piper can't convict a killer on psychic abilities alone. Will this be the one cold case she can't close? Peril, Pancakes, and a Chihuahua by Maya Black. 13th in the Whiskers and Whisks Whodunit series. Celia Rodriguez thought organizing a holiday charity brunch would be the icing on her Christmas cake. Between crafting handmade binding kits, helping her mother Rosa prepare family recipes, and running her grandmother's beloved bindery, her December was deliciously full. But when a vendor collapses mid-bite, handmade ornaments go missing, and a treasured recipe book disappears, Celia finds herself at the center of a sticky scandal. With the winter market in chaos and her reputation on the line, Celia has no choice but to play sleuth once more. Guided by Taco, her sharp-nosed Chihuahua sidekick, and aided by Detective Jamie Hernandez, whose quiet smiles might be even more disarming than his badge, Celia uncovers clues that point to a decades-old rivalry and a forgotten betrayal. As secrets unfold between stacks of pancakes and strands of paper snowflakes, Celia must solve the mystery before the brunch becomes a full-blown holiday disaster. But in Pine Valley, even the sweetest traditions can hide the sourest secrets. Ooh. Now there's a pink cover. Lena says, "Oh, see you guys Wednesday." "All right, have a good day." She says, "Have a good day too." Mary says, "I'm not a summer gal either, PK. I can't take the heat. I figure you can always put clothes on when it's cold, but you can only take so much off. True, when it's hot without getting in trouble." I know. Plus then, not only trouble with legal things, you probably get sunburned. Mary says, "Bye, Elena. Have a great Monday." And Amy says, "Bye, Elena." True. We every day thank the person who invented air conditioning. Foul Play at the Festival by Sarah Rodecker, second in the Mossy Hollow Mysteries. Still recovering from her last case, Sybil Bustlingthorpe isn't planning on getting involved with any new investigations, but when two people are poisoned during the Blossom Festival and the local dwarven baker is arrested for the crime, she believes the police have the wrong man and decides to look into the murders. With no one seeming to have a reason for killing both victims, Sybil must dig through the family drama, painful relationships, and a fair amount of mud to find the truth. With her ever-faithful assistant, Jude Peaton, and his fiancée, Joan McPherson, she navigates the lies with humor and determination in this cozy fantasy mystery. Party Pooper by Alice Kanaka. Fourth in the Mavis and Hornwhistle Cozy Mysteries. Kirk's friend, let's just read it anyway. Writer Elizabeth Lizzie Hornwhistle and her waggish dachshund Mavis find themselves hobnobbing with the rich and famous at Kirkland Schwartz luxury desert oasis. Kirk's friendship, his personal chef, and his glorious saltwater pool are just what Lizzie needs to unwind. But Kirk, known for his eccentric celebrity guests and extravagant parties, decides to just surprise her with a weekend mystery event. What begins as a game of murder becomes very real. The victim, universally disliked and feared, is no surprise to anyone. The complete isolation from the outside world is. Lizzie soon discovers nothing is as it seems. Secrets, betrayals, and romance emerge as the body count climbs. She and Kirk must race to discover the culprit before one of them is next. Through it all, Mavis sniffs out clues and wreaks havoc as only a dachshund can do. Speaking of pets, end of our row. Mary, how's your babies doing? How's the corgis? Sorry, needed a glug of coffee there for a minute. Amy says, yes, Mary, I agree about the clothing. Mary says, what have you been up to, Amy? Have a fun weekend? Hope so. Mine was quiet, which is fine with me, too. Worked around the house and read. Today I plan to make some jewelry. Oh, good deal. I've been in a slump, but I might have broken it. I'm currently reading a fantasy. I'm finally reading Malice by John Gwynne, and my go-to kind of slump buster guilty read, first in one of those teen books by Rosamund Dujardin. I'm sure I read it back in the 70s or 80s, but this is a reread. Wait for Marcy. Phantom Fireworks, 7th in the Hawthorne Corner Cozy Mysteries. Welcome to the charming small town of Hawthorne Corner for a summer mystery where the fireworks are silent. Wow. The secrets are loud, and a curious dachshund knows how to sniff out a killer. This summer, Gideon Harlow is hoping for a smooth midnight jubilee at Evermore House, his haunted Airbnb by the lake. But when midnight phantom fireworks bloom over the water, the town's oldest superstition comes to life. The bursts appear when someone is lying. Then a guest turns up dead. With the help of Evermore's house resident ghost Lila Evermore, a bark-happy dachshund named Louie, and a trail of cryptic clues, Gideon must untangle a decades-old scandal, a hidden betrayal, and a murder staged to look like an accident. But in a town where some fireworks are real and some are faked, the truth is ready to explode. The Middle of Nowhere by Rita A. Pop, 3rd in a Bethany Jarvis Mysteries. Murder mars the romantic reunion of New Mexican Bethany Jarvis with her boyfriend Nathan at the Wyoming guest ranch where he's a new hire. Then the county sheriff shocks Bethany with news of her cowboy's violent past. Nathan admits to a brutal bar fight, but it claims he's no killer. Would Bethany, who has solved other murders that stump the police, investigate this death? Reluctantly, she agrees to speak to the owner's staff and guests whom the sheriff has corralled at the ranch. Turns out many had motives for eliminating someone who profited from knowing their secrets and in other ways was up to no good. Demons and Designer Dreadlocks by Emma Park. Fourth in the Bonnie Ray Cozy Mysteries. When Noel Hart, the respected but nosy editor of the Darkcliff News, retires, everyone in Darkcliff breathes a sigh of relief, salon owner Bonnie Ray included. Noel was always a little too persistent in his digging for the truth, but to Bonnie's consternation, when the new editor starts work, things deteriorate fast. Turner Pottinger is egotistical and abrasive. He wants to stir up trouble. Worst of all, he doesn't check his spelling or grammar before going to print. Okay. That's it. He deserves it. Despite the inaccuracies in his stories, the bad blood they create soon threatens to tear the town apart. He's particularly insulting towards the vampires. Well, he's redeemed a little bit, and quickly makes enemies, bad ones, many of them, and then Turner's murdered. Thanks to very unfortunate circumstances, Cordelia, Bonnie's BVF, best vampire friend, is immediately accused of the murder, facing a life sentence in the vampire penitentiary unless Bonnie can find the real killer fast. Was Turner Pottinger just a prejudiced troublemaker who got what was coming to him, or was there a deeper, darker motive for the crime? The Hex Witch Gets Hexed by Saskia Derry, second in the Hex Witch for Hire series. The only thing worse than backward magic is no magic at all. Evie Peachcroft is unfortunately used to people begging her for hexes, so when her former babysitter asked her to remove the curse on a farmhouse, she jumps at the chance. Breaking a curse? That'd be a first. But the creaky old farmhouse is calm and utterly free of magic. No hexes, no ill wards, not so much as a bad smell. Then Evie's magic stops working. She can't even summon a tiny gust of wind. And worse, the hex spreads to her friends, twisting their magic as well. Evie must figure out who set the hex and why. How can she undo a hex that she can't even see? End of that road. Amy says, pretty much the same as you, reading and dealing with 3 dogs. And Mary says, the girls are great. It is that time of year where they blow their coats, so every time I vacuum, I get another dog. Oh, been there. I can vacuum several times a day and should, so I'm teaming with the dogs. There you go. And Amy says, how do you make fireworks silent? Oh, wouldn't that be great? Mary says, headphones? Mary says, people are still setting off fireworks. How many did they buy? Well, they probably hit the sales afterward. Mary says, what a pretty name, Saskia. Never heard it before. I was thinking that too. Amy says, that's a new name for me as well. I was thinking that was a good name. All right, we're getting close to the bell, but let's see what we can do. Boop. It always jumps. A Recipe for Second Chances by Elsie Gray, 13th in the Good Chef Mysteries. When Lila Good's mother finally falls in love again, murder threatens to extinguish her second chance at happiness. A private tour of Pine Grove's beloved lighthouse introduces Lily to Walter Price, the kind-hearted owner, who has brought a sparkle back to her mother's eyes. After years of heartbreak, Lily couldn't be happier for them. Then Walter's young employee is found murdered. Worse, the evidence points directly at Walter. As a former NYPD detective, Lily knows the clues are impossible to ignore. As a daughter, she can't believe her mother has fallen for a killer. Determined to uncover the truth, Lily follows a trail of stolen money, dangerous debts, and secrets that reach far beyond the lighthouse. But when Walter suddenly disappears during a fierce coastal storm, finding the truth becomes a race against time. Because if Lily can't solve the mystery, her mother's long-awaited second chance may be lost forever. In Pine Grove, even the brightest lights can cast the darkest shadows. Decaf Deceit by Wendy Meadows, 6th in the Browns Grounds Mysteries. In Mill Pond, Monica Brown's mornings run on a simple recipe: a hot cup, a friendly smile through the order window, and a sheriff who flirts at $5.80 increments. The recipe does not include a swollen jaw, stolen prescription, and a dead woman holding a slip of paper with Monica's name on it. When Tawny Clifford, owner of Cliff's Boutique and one of Mill Pond's least loved residents, turns up dead in her office, the rumor mill points everywhere at once. Tawny had enemies. She also apparently had hydrocodone in her system, the same hydrocodone Monica was prescribed after her wisdom teeth came out. Well, other people have it too. The same hydrocodone that's mysteriously short 2 pills. Sheriff Nathan Thomas wants to believe her. The Edgewater Community Council does not. And as Monica digs through a snobby tennis club, a boutique full of secrets, and a regular customer who knows a little too much, she realizes the most dangerous person in Mill Pond might be the one who looks the most harmless. Because the strongest brew isn't always the one that gets you. It's the one you never see coming. Let's squeak in one more. Tiki Confessions by Addison Moore. 4th in the Coconut Confessions, Hawaii Cozy Mysteries. Banana bread never tasted so deadly. Welcome to paradise. The cooking show is murder. When a celebrity cooking show rolls into my Hawaiian resort promising tropical vibes and banana bread bliss, I figure the worst thing that could happen is running out of mac salad. Then the producer drops dead mid-filming, and suddenly I'm investigating 3 charming hosts embroiled in a murder conspiracy that makes my previous cases look simple. You'll love this tropical cozy mystery. Oh, and then it goes into more description, but we got the gist. All right, plus it's a good place to remember where we stopped. We stopped on Tiki Confessions. Marie says, my massage therapist name is Catalia. Oh, that's different. Another name I'd never heard before, but really like it. Oh, yeah. You'd almost see that like in a fantasy book. People are getting inventive. All right, that is it for today. On Wednesday, we'll look at the darker side, crime fiction and thrillers, and then on Friday, we'll look at the rest of the cozies and anything else that I find that I missed the first time, that they didn't list the first time, like last week. That was very fortunate. All right, please, everybody, be safe, be cool, stay hydrated, take care of your babies. Mary says, thanks so much. Please take care of yourself on this hot day. Have a great day. And you too, Amy. Well, thank you. Back at you, baby. And Amy says, that's a beautiful name too. Indeed. So we need to have a family with Catalia and Saskia. But you won't find that on coffee cups. Amy says, have a good day, everyone. Same to you. Back at you, baby. Well, thank you guys so much. Again, I don't have sprints tonight. Our next sprints are tomorrow night, Tuesday night. All right. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you guys letting me make this happen, and for being so supportive. And as the banner says here, don't be a bookworm, be a bookie monster. Nom nom nom. Have a good day and God bless.